Hey there, thanks for watching again. Dr. Erickson, the EHS Physical Therapy Chiropractic. Let's go through a couple of movements to help with shoulder mobility and upper thoracic. They really go hand in hand. There can be quite a bit of, if you're very slouched or very kind of rounded, it blocks the amount or the distance that a shoulder can go up. But if we can kind of open things up, open the chest, improve the thoracic mobility and the shoulder, then that ability to really get far and with decreased pain is greatly improved. So I would start with the thoracic. This would be one way to do it. We can sit in a chair, get the right height here. So hit you kind of in that upper, mid-upper back above the shoulder blade area. And I would use the weight of the arms. So we're still going to want to have the hands behind the head, tuck the chin in, tuck the chin in here, and then just lean back over the edge of that chair. And you really got to get a little bit of like momentum and kind of bounce a little bit to get that thoracic spine is very stiff because the ribs attach there. So you'll need a bit of like force or momentum. You can either you could do it lying and use a foam roll in that area and then like mobilize and be very specific on which segments you're working on, or use the edge of a chair. And then you can always shift your hips a little bit further forward if you want to go a little bit higher and tuck in and let it really roll back. So get a couple different spots, go up and down about, an inch or so, and really get everything through that upper back moving. And then let's go on to some different shoulder movements. Okay, number 2, let's go on to a couple of like very specific, shoulder things, but we're still gonna incorporate that upper back. I wanna kick in some of the external rotators and some of the muscles in the shoulder by having a band around my wrists, elbows bent to 90. I'm gonna kind of pull apart to get that resistance, that tension kicked in. And from here, again, standing very tall, chin tucked in, from here, we're going to kind of get that up and go really high and get that extension through the thoracic spine. So pull out, push up, 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 get that extension through the shoulders and the upper back, and then come back down. So we're going to work muscles as well as some mobility through here. So here's number 2, some external rotation resistance, with some elevation, getting that upper back to move backwards through there, okay? Very good there, number 2. All right, number 3, we're gonna use the wall. I wanna use this as a kind of a guide. It just helps give you some tactile feedback of touching the wall. So we'll come up against the back of the wall. Again, head tucked so we're nice and straight through here, arms up through here, and I want you to just trace your forearms against that wall, coming up, 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 pulling those shoulder blades kind of back and together, right in through there, okay? Up and down. You're going to pinch those shoulder blades together in the back and just work on, especially pulling your elbow kind of down to your pocket. So pulling down through there, but keeping the arms rotated back. You will feel it in the shoulders as well as in that upper back area. So these are good because we tend to get a lot like rounded this way, so we just lose that. So getting that ability to be back through here and maintaining that points of contact all throughout your arm. You can kind of see it here when I go this way. Maintaining that touch all along through there is important. So that's number 3. All right, number 4, if you've got some kind of like TRX bands or like suspension type straps, really nice to use for a closed chain movement. You could do the same kind of thing with like some bands that are more stretchy, or maybe even like a bed sheet or something like that. But I like the closed chain where I can kind of start here, let my body kind of fall back, get that upper back to kind of stretch, and then go ahead and pull and row yourself and pinch those shoulder blades together, keeping the head still in a nice position. So this would be like, I would say 4A. Maybe I like this kind of the standard row movement, but I also like being here and then coming up high into like a big Y movement. So I'm coming up this way, starting here, and I'm ending this way by pulling through those upper back and posterior shoulder muscles right through there, and then slow on the way down. These really get that upper back rhomboids, posterior delts, working through there. Do it with a purpose, slow and controlled, up through head in good position, okay? This would maybe be like 4B. I would start here. It's a little bit easier of a movement to do the rowing, and if you're feeling like it's pretty easy and you want to graduate to the next one, then add in more of that big Y. So we're going to start this way, and if it gets pretty easy, then you can start going that way with pulling back and away, okay? So let's go with those 4, and that should really help improve not only like mobility of like reaching for things, but also less, less pain with reaching for things by moving and improving shoulder girdle, the shoulder itself, and upper thoracic mobility.